नमस्कार। आप सभी लोग सकुशल होंगे। तो प्रभु से कामना है कि आप लोग स्वस्थ एंड आनंद रहें। इसी के साथ हम बात करते हैं अपने टॉपिक की। नेक्स्ट टॉपिक, एज इन आवर प्रीवियस लेक्चर वी हैव टॉक अबाउट द डिफरेंट एविडेंसेस ऑफ इवोल्यूशंस, राइट, इन विच वी हैव टॉक अबाउट द different things: artificial selection, embryological evidences, homological, analogical, vestigial organs, biochemical evidences, and biogeographical evidences. Let's move to come on the different and important theories related to the biological evolutions, right? In generally in biological evolution there are three theories are famous, which can be generally takes or found, that is Lamarckism or the Lamarck's theory of evolution, Darwinism or the theory of evolution, and the mutation theory of the evolutions. Today we have to just start now the Lamarck theory of evolutions. Means generally on the basis of this theory we can say the Lamarck's theory. This theory states that the life forms occur due to the use and disuse organs. Generally it is also known as the use and disuse theory, right? So we can say the Lamarck, according to this theory, it can be always given with the help of an example of the giraffe one. Means we can say sometimes this theory is also known as the inheritance of acquired characters, right? But this theory is not generally acceptable for a long period of time. So if we talk about giving the thing the example of giraffe, in as you can see in the diagram, generally the giraffe in the beginning it did not have a long neck, but gradually their necks become longer to access leaf for the taller trees. Means this neck is start to longer one because of the to eat the leaves which are found on the taller trees, right? And we can say these acquired characters passed on to the further generations, and finally giraffes are acquired long necks. Means slowly and slowly these structures, the longer neck can be passed out to their offsprings. So we can say, so all the giraffe now which are found in present, they have a longer neck. So sometimes we can say this is the inheritance of acquired characters, right? Generally Lamarck had explained about his theory into his book, that is the philosophy of zoology, right? If we can talk another thing, right, that how this process will take place, but later on August Weismann have disproved this theory. He discredited these theories by doing some specific things, right? August Weismann offered a greatest oppositions of this inheritance acquired characters. He put forward his theory of the continuity of the germplasm in 1892. He said those variations which arise in the germplasm inherited in the next generation only. He gave the example of the mouse. He cut the tails of a mouse up to 20 generations continuously, but still those mouse does not disappear their tails. So he just explained the new theory that is known as continuity of the germplasm in that conditions, right? So these theories are generally proposed for such conditions. After that, there is another theory that is known as the Darwinian theory of the evolution, or we can say the theory of natural selection, which was proposed by the Darwin. Generally, if we can talk about this, generally Charles Robert Darwin in his book on the origin of species, right, or we can say the natural selections, it is generally based in his observations during a sea voyage around the world in his ship HMS Beagle. Sometimes it can be also asked over there. So generally the two key concepts of the Darwin's are branch descent. That is, first is adaptive radiation, as we have already talked about the parallel radiation, in which we have talked about the marsupials of placental marsupials, especially in the Australian continent, in other words also, right? But later on he also proposed another thing, that is, we can say, especially the natural selections. Means that is also given by the Mr. Charles Robert Darwin, right? So according to his theory, he proposed a different things, especially in that particular conditions. If you can say the he is on his existing conditions, he explained the existing living organisms shares similarities to varying degrees, not only the among themselves but also with the forms of the existed million years ago. Evenly, there has been a gradual change evolution of life from during the different periods of the geological history, and there has been extinctions also. Any population has built in variation in characters. Individuals with those characteristics which enable them to survive better means the fitness of the individuals in the nature conditions would overcome the other who are less and adapted under the same natural conditions. Evenly, according to him, he also says that the fitness of any individuals, according to the Darwin, refers ultimately only to the reproductive fitness. Generally, Darwin has explained about that fitness, especially related to the reproductive fitness only. Such we can say such fit individuals leave more progeny with more fit individuals than the others one. And he also explained that they are selected by the nature, or that is called the natural selections. Right? So according to him, he explained all the such type of things over there. So according to the Darwin, he can again explain all these things on the different basis also. Right? So Darwin considered the natural selection as a mechanism of the evolution. Or after him, generally the Alfred Wallace was a naturalist during the Darwin's time. He concluded his theory that a new life form arise evolved in during the course of life time, and all the existing forms of life share certain similarities and common ancestors, and these ancestors lived at a different period in the history of earth. The geological history closely correlated with the biological history, right? And the term witness, we can generally, I have told you, the genetic basis of the getting selected to evolve the, and they can adaptive abilities inherited as well genetic basis, and fitness is in the result to the ability to adapt it and get selected by the nature also. So all these things are found over in that particular conditions. So especially if we can talk about this one, or directly indirectly, right, the according to this natural selection theory, that we can say there has been a gradual evolution of life forms with the new forms arising different periods of history. Evenly, the population of all organisms have variations in characteristics which makes them adapt a better environment. Means the individuals of the population are never same, as everybody know. Means as well as the gradual changes will occur, the population also increases or it maybe decreases. So this process can also help them to animals that they can be survive over for a long period of time. Or we can say some of the characteristics which are enable to individuals to survive better in the nature conditions and reproduce. That is called the survival of the fittest. Means generally Darwin explained about this survival of the fittest theory. He explained that only those animals are capable, those organisms are capable which are fit according to the nature. Even to adapt the environment, to getting the food, to for the mating their to selecting their partners. Right? Means in all conditions, when the organisms are survival, only in that condition they can capable to provide a development, and they can capable to evolve. Means the fit characters can be transferred from one generation to another generations. So the organisms which adapted well in the environment, means जो animals ने अपने आप को environment में अच्छी तरह ढाल लिया है, उस पूरे environment को अपने हिसाब से develop कर लिया है, will can selected by the nature and will survive more in nature. Means those animals are allowed to develop, to grow, to pass out their characters from one generation to another, which can make themselves to capable to survive in such conditions. Right? So we can say this is called the natural selections. Once again, means generally you all have to, it means that individuals has more chance to be reproduced. Means if the organism can capable to adapt themselves to the any selected nature, any selected conditions in any place, in that particular thing, they can all are developmental stage. Or we can say the adaptability in the inherited and fitness is in the results of ability to adapt it and get selected by the nature. Means adaptability inherited, means all the animals can be get is adaptive through their inherited character, and fitness is the end results of the ability. Means generally any organism can be capable to make themselves to fit, अपने आप को ऑक्सीजन चेंज करता है या उस क्लाइमेटिक कंडीशन के हिसाब से अपने आप को ऑर्गेनिज्म को चेंज करना पड़ता है, तो उसके हिसाब से हम कहते हैं दे आर द फिट वन, राइट. एंड ड्यू टू दिस एबिलिटी टू अडेप्ट एंड गेट सेलेक्टेड बाय द नेचर, both things can be correlated to each other. So we can say generally the natural selection is based on the different facts. Especially we can say the limited natural resources. Generally in all our environment the sources are limited, right? We can say the total sources are limited. So we can know that there is a struggle for the existence which can be interspecific or intraspecific और का एनवायरमेंटल स्ट्रगल. मीन्स जब हमारे पास सोर्सेज, चाहे फूड सोर्स हो, चाहे पार्टनर सोर्सेज हो, चाहे हैबिटेट सोर्सेज हो, ऑल सोर्सेज आर लिमिटेड इन आवर अर्थ सरफेस. सो देयर इज स्ट्रगल विल फाउंड बिटवीन देम, राइट. इट मे बी इंट्रास्पेसिफिक स्ट्रगल, राइट, और इंटरस्पेसिफिक मीन्स बिटवीन द टू डिफरेंट स्पीसीज फॉर द हैबिटेट फॉर द फूड एंड सच अदर्स वन, और बिटवीन द सेम स्पीसीज ऑल्सो, राइट. Or sometimes this struggle can also against the environmental conditions. So only those organisms are capable which have the fit or proper conditions, right? That's why we am saying so many times survival of the fittest. So varying these characters in the members of the population, the variation are generally inherited, right? Generally the variation will always come from parent to the their offsprings or their progeny one. So we can say the population size is stable except seasonal influences. That's why you can say the total population is always generally constant because of the such conditions, survival conditions, some stable conditions over there. Generally such even there are different environmental fluctuation will continues to our surroundings. As I have told you that Alfred Russel Wallace, he got the same results about the nature selection and informed Darwin about his results by writing on the papers also. So Darwin, natural selection and survival of the fittest theory was the based on the sexual selections only. At last we can say that he said natural selection leads to the formation of the new species, means for the speciations, as I have told you. Means generally this theory is also on the basis of the species, means it can be always helpful for the development of the different kinds of species. So after that, if we want to get the natural selections, the different examples are seen in our surroundings, in our all places, right? For that the different conditions in which we can find the evidences for the natural selections, right? So if we can talk about the evidences, generally suppose we can take an example of industrial melanism, right? Especially as you can know everybody about this one, especially if we can talk about the collection of moths made in 1850s before industrializations. Especially we will take the example from the England industrialization or industrial melanism, right? So there we can say before the industrializations revolution in England, the white winged moth were more in numbers than the dark winged moth. जब वहाँ पॉल्यूशन नहीं था, जब वहाँ इंडस्ट्री नहीं थी, तो वहाँ वाइट विंग वाले जो मौत हायर थे इन कम्पेयर टू द डार्क विंग. अब इसका रीजन क्या था? बिकॉज देयर इज लेस पॉल्यूशन विच लीड टू द लाइट ट्रंक टू द ट्रीज ड्यू टू लाइकेंस, राइट, जिसकी वजह से पेड़ों के जो ट्रंक थे वो लाइट बने रहते थे. सो ऑन द लाइट बैकग्राउंड वाइट विंग मॉथ और नॉट विजिबल टू देयर प्रेडेटर्स. इसलिए क्या है, जब पेड़ों पे वाइट कलर का लाइकेन है तो जिसकी वजह से जो वाइट कलर के मॉथ पे बैठे थे दे विल हिडन बाय देयर प्रेडेटर्स, right? But while the dark moths can be easily visible in that particular conditions, so they can be always eaten by their predators. So the population of the white winged moths are higher in condition in that particular places, especially in the before the industrialization into the England one. But later, after the industrialization, the climatic condition changes. The dark winged moths can become more in compared to white winged. Why? This is because the same reason, because of the population pollution increases, and due to the pollution, the lichen is not developed over the trunk of the bark. So the color of the bark is darker one. So the dark color moth cannot be visible for their the predators, and white color winged moths are visible, so they can be eaten by their predators, but the dark color is not eaten by the predators. So such can be seen over there. Due to this, generally as I told you, due to this white winged moth could be easily eaten by the predators, and they cannot be capable to do their camouflage when they are failed to be for their camouflage. So the nature selected only those moths which were better suited, but not of them were eradicated completely in such conditions, as you can see, especially in the diagrams. Right? Suppose in the white background before the industrializations, right? They can be easily visible, but after the industrialization, due to the white are easily visible. Due to this, their population can be varied from the different places to places one, right? After that, we can say these can be also have to do some different other things, or some we can say due to the industrializations. There is another thing which I have already told you about the resistance to the chemicals, right? Means generally, as I have told you, that the chemical resistance you can generally says, generally before the green revolutions, the different types of pesticide, insecticide are not usable, are not used over in that particular conditions, right? But after the green revolution, these substances were utilized, due to which the different varieties of the microbes are very less time, right? Or the pathogens, bacteria appear to the very short period of time in that particular conditions. But due to these regions, these organisms, especially you can say different diseases, or these microorganisms becomes the resistant to all these chemicals, right? Due to these conditions, they can capable to survive over a long period of time in these conditions. So evenly, as we can say, the in anthropogenic evolutions, as I have told you, in human also, right? There is also this resistivity also seen over there. Then there is another theory, that is, you can say, mutation theory of evolutions. Mutation theory, generally we can say, it was generally proposed by the Hugo de Veris, right? He was the father of the mutations processes, we can say. He just termed about this one. So generally, first of all, we have to know what is this mutation. As we can know that a large habitat changes during the sudden in the characteristics of any population. किसी भी प्लेस पे अचानक कोई चेंजेस होता है, पॉपुलेशन कोई चेंजेस हो जाता है, दैट इज नोन एज द म्यूटेशन. So he state that the evolution occur by sudden large difference in the population. Means generally in any population, if a difference can become immediately, suddenly, right? In that particular conditions, we can say this mutation is can be found over there. Mutation or not be minor changes are which are given by the Darwin's one. Or we can say the mutation caused speciations or devaries called the saltations or single step large mutation, right? Generally mutation is a saltation conditions, or the single step large mutation can be take place in different conditions. Evenly we can say the mutations are random and directionless, while the variations are small and direction as per Darwin. Means mutation can be take place anywhere in any place, but the variation can be also in a direction, means parent to offspring, offspring to their offsprings. That means to the progenies always also in that particular condition. So generally, according to the Darwin evolution, slow continuous process, while the devariation is a single step process which can due to the discontinuous variations, means continuously in that particular condition they can be take place over there. So these are the different theories of the evolution, especially the mutation theory of the evolution, natural selection theory of the evolution, or the Darwinism, or you can say Lamarck theory of the evolution. So these theories are sometimes very important in the point of view of the evolution of the different organisms, right? So you all have to just learn about the these theories, especially if they are necessary for such conditions. So you all must prepare your notes up to here, and then we will talk about the next topic, that is very important topic, that is Hardy-Wing principles, which are so many times can be asked in different times. So we will just conclude it after in coming lecture.